Okay, let's talk materials for this fruit pom-pom. And I have like fluff everywhere. So for this week's tutorial, what you will need most definitely is, I won't say most definitely, but you will need a pom-pom maker. If you don't have one, don't go out and buy one. I will show you later in the video how to create your pom-pom without using a pom-pom maker and using your phalanges. So if you have it, go ahead and grab your pom-pom maker. If not, don't worry about it. We'll get around that. You will need some scissors. Stitch marker is actually optional for when we're making our leaf. You don't necessarily need it, but if you have one, I would recommend you use it. You will need your crochet hook because we will need to crochet our leaf. You will need some hardware, so you're going to need a keychain. Whatever keychain you have on hand. If you plan to sell these, just make sure you have, the keychain on hand so you can kind of play around with the look and see how it looks before you list it for purchase wherever you're selling. You will need yarn. So you will need, we are making an apple together, so you're going to need green for the leaf and you will need red for the pom-pom. If you're making a different kind of fruit, like for example, I made an orange earlier, just make sure you get the yarn that corresponds with whatever fruit you're making. So orange for the orange, red for the apple, and so forth. Hot glue gun, it's not a necessity, but whenever I make pom-poms, I always use hot glue gun just because it helps for the pom-poms to not, so that you can't pull the yarn out of the center. And let me show you what that means. So for this one, I did not use the hot glue, and you can literally just pull. This one I did, and you can't pull the yarn out. So if you don't have to, the pom-poms will look exactly the same. It's just a matter of how secure they are on the inside. So if you don't have a hot glue gun, that's totally fine. You don't necessarily need one, but I use one, so I listed in the materials. And I think that is it. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so let's start with our pom-pom. I actually just bought these not too long ago. These are not the usual pom-pom makers that I had before, but I broke my other ones. So I am using these, and I'm taking the biggest size that I have. Honestly, the size isn't too important in terms of following a pattern or anything. Just whatever size is good for you. This is what I'm using, the biggest one, because when I start big I can kind of pare down smaller. It's just a preference. If you don't have a pom-pom maker, it is not the end of the world. Please don't go out and purchase. Y'all know I'm a frugal crocheter. What you can do is just wrap the yarn around your hand. I am using a hot glue gun. I would not recommend you use the hot glue gun if you're using the hand method, because I've tried it and I burned myself and it's not fun. So you can just wrap around your hand in the same way you would do the pom-pom maker, and then just cut the yarn that way. So that's an effective way to do it too. Maybe I'll show you later, I don't know. But if you're using the pom-pom, for mine it opens up as such. I just pull them apart and they open just like that. And what you're gonna do is find the end of your yarn, and you're going to wrap your yarn around each one of these sides. So I'll do one side with you, I'll movie magic the other side, and we will take it from there. So I'm literally just wrapping the yarn around this side of the pom-pom maker, and it is quite a bit of yarn, especially for this bigger one, because it's a big size. But let me go ahead and movie magic this so you're not sitting here bored watching me wrap this thing, and I will meet you back here once this is all wrapped. And so I realized I never showed you exactly what to do with the hot glue gun. So every so often I just use some glue in the center of where I'm wrapping, because the glue is going to help it stay together. If you've ever had pom-poms, and actually I can show you, I did this one off camera kind of as an example for you guys. This one is an orange, and you can see if I pull one of these strings, it actually comes out. And a lot of pom-poms that I've seen in the past years in the stores and such, they do that, and it irritates my life. And so one of the hacks that I've learned just kind of over the years making pom-poms is use the hot glue, and it prevents the yarn from pulling from the center. Now, the more often you use the glue, the less likely you are to get a pull, but I don't recommend you using like every single row of wrap, because then the center of your pom-pom is going to be really hard and it won't, you know, you won't have that squishy effect for the pom-pom. So I'm just putting a thin layer of glue, and then I'm making sure that my yarn completely covers it before I add a new layer of glue. See that? See, now I can add more glue because I don't have any more glue visible. And so I'm just wrapping this until it's flush with the sides of my pom-pom. And then I'm gonna go to the other side, and for real, it's gonna be movie magic this time. I just wanted to show you guys how to use the hot glue. So this is one side. I think that is darn good. For my pom-pom maker, I just close it like this. Every pom-pom maker is different, but this is how mine operates. I'm gonna do the other side, close it, and then I'll show you what to do in terms of cutting it. All right, so I finished wrapping mine, and this is what it's looking like. So now what I want to do is you're going to cut along the sides of this thing. So for my pom-pom maker, let me get a little closer. There's a little dent right here where my scissors fit in. And every pom-pom maker is going to have something similar. It may not look exactly like this, but it's going to have something similar. And it's designed so that you can fit your scissors in there. So what I'm doing is just putting my scissors, see that little groove? Putting my scissors in that groove, and I'm cutting accordingly. Just like that. So I just cut it all the way around. Now I'm gonna take a pretty decent tail from my skein of yarn, and what I want to do is that same little groove that you place your scissors in to cut the pom-pom, you're gonna put that tail that we just cut into those grooves. See, like that? I just put it into the groove, and I'm going to squeeze, and this is going to bring our pom-pom together. So what I actually do is, I was like this, right? Lift the pom-pom up and flip it over such that these tails can now go in the bottom. And I'm going to tie again. Twice actually. So I'll tie one more time. And that's important because now what we can do, and again, every pom-pom maker is different from mine. I'm just gonna get these little grooves things right here, these little flaps, I guess. And I just lift mine up. Uh-oh, I didn't cut something correctly. Oh, right here, I didn't cut that. Cut that, because that should come out pretty easily. See, just like that. And it just lifts right up. This is how my pom-pom maker is designed. You're gonna have to follow however yours is designed. And mine's kind of cool. I can just put it back together, snap it back together for next time. So now what you should have is something that looks very pom-pom-esque, but not really neat-ish. It looks kind of weird with a tail, right? Two tails. So we need to shape this out. And so I'm just gonna do it on my table. I probably got all kind of fluff on here already. I was doing some pom-poms for my dolls earlier, but what I'm gonna do is just kind of flatten this thing out, right? Because what I'm gonna do is cut around and start shaping. The other reason I like going with the larger pom-pom for a project like this is because I'm cutting a significant amount off, because in my opinion, the more you cut off, the more full your pom-pom looks. And I want this to be like a keychain. So I want this to look pretty darn full. And so for me, it was important to use the bigger size. But again, you don't have to, especially if you don't want a big size poof ball. You can go with a smaller size. Or like I was saying before, if you don't have a pom-pom maker at all, you can definitely use your hands and it won't be as big. And so I'm just shaping this guy, just cutting all the excess off, and I'm shaping so that it's in a circle. Being careful not to cut my tails. My tails are right there. If you cut your tails, it's not the end of the world. You'll just have to reattach some yarn later so that we can attach our keychain. But let me go ahead and shape this out. Maybe I'll do some movie magic so you can still see what I'm doing, but you're not like sitting there kind of bored. But let me go ahead and do this and I'll meet you back. All right, this is the mess that I have made to get to this point. Let me go ahead and clean this up so we can move on to our next part. But before I show you how to do the leaf, I do want to show you how to do this pom-pom with your hand only, because again, I am a super frugal crafter, and I don't want my tutorial to force you to go and buy stuff that you don't have. As long as you ignore all this fluff that's about to be everywhere, literally. Okay, so again, I wouldn't recommend you use the hot glue gun, but a hack to create a pom-pom if you don't have a pom-pom maker is actually just to get your hand, your 4 fingers, right? You're gonna hold the yarn and then you're just gonna wrap. You're just gonna wrap around your 4 fingers. So just keep wrapping until you get a decent ball going, keeping your 4 fingers flat. And you're literally just gonna wrap and wrap and wrap until you get a good size amount on here. What is a good size amount? I'll show you what it looks like when I think it's ready, but we're still wrapping right now. Wrapping, and again, this probably won't be as big as the one that I just showed you with the pom-pom maker, but it'll be decent. Okay, so for me, I think that's probably good. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and cut your yarn, right? You're gonna slide the yarn off of your hand, just like that. And you should have a ball of yarn or strings of yarn that looks like that. You're still gonna cut a tail. This time around, you're gonna place, I'm just placing my tail, going up and down. Place the yarn from our hand on top of the yarn strip. You're then gonna tie, pulling very tight. Make sure this tie is in the center, and you're gonna pull for dear life. Flip, and then you're going to pull again and knot. Pull again, knot, and then I'm gonna double knot, just like that. And so you should look like this right now, just like we did with the pom-pom maker. You're gonna find the loops on each side and you're just gonna cut them, just like that. Now the more times you wrap around your hand, the fuller your pom-pom will be. That's the trick here. That's why I said there really is no pattern or right or wrong way to do it, but it just depends on how thick you want your pom-pom. Now this is what we're looking like. You would shape it the same as we did with the other one, so just literally flatten it and then start cutting it around so that it ends up in like a circular shape, and you'll get something that looks close to this. It won't be as big, it'll be pretty darn close though, like that's not too bad, but you'll end up with something that looks like this without the pom-pom maker. So hopefully that helps. I am not going to shape this one out because I don't need another pom-pom. I just wanted to show you what that could look like, so I'm actually going to toss this one. Okay, so now we just need to do our leaf. Okay, so the leaf is gonna sit on our fruit like that, just to add a little bit of pizzazz. So the way we're going to do our leaf is we are going to start with, let me just grab my yarn here. we are gonna start with a chain 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next, second chain from the hook, which is that for me, I'm doing a single crochet. Next stitch, I'm doing a double crochet, another double crochet. The next 3 stitches, I am doing a triple crochet. That was 1. That was 2. And that was 3. And the next 2, we're doing a double crochet. That was 1. And then 2, and you should have at this point 1 stitch left, which is right there. In that 1 stitch, we are doing 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, chain 2, and then do another 2 single crochets in that same stitch. Okay, so on the other side of our chain, we're going to start with 2 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 triple crochets, 1, 2, 3, followed by 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and we're going to finish in that very last stitch with the same thing we did on the other side, which is 2 single crochets, 1 in the same stitch, 2, chain 2, and then 2 more in that same stitch. And we're going to slip stitch to that first stitch right there, and then go ahead and cut this. And that's what our leaf should look like. So to attach this thing, I am gonna thread my yarn needle, and I'm gonna pull the end of that row to the tip of our leaf. And what I mean by that is, you see it, like we didn't end right here at the tip, we ended on the side. So what I'm gonna do is just move that tail to the top by just weaving my yarn in and out, just like that, until I get to the tip. Nothing fancy. And that way when I attach to my pom-pom, it looks like that and it's not on the side. Okay, so let's talk hardware. So for the keychain, I am using this guy. Just something simple. I didn't use the claw clip or anything. I just used a regular keychain. So what I'm gonna do is, actually I want to attach my pom-pom first. So I'm gonna take one of these tails, go ahead and thread my yarn needle. Thread this guy, there we go. And I'm just gonna go through this bottom loop on my chain and double tie this guy. 1 and 2. Now what I'm gonna do is take my leaf, thread my needle, and do the same thing. So I'm gonna go into that bottom chain, and for the leaf we only have one tail, right? And I'm not going all the, I don't know if you can see, I'm not going all the way there because I want my leaf to hang just a little bit. But I'm gonna take one of the tails from the red and use that to attach. And I'm just doing that twice. And then I can just cut. Or if you want to be extra careful, you can, you know, attach to the other red also. I mean, it's not really necessary, but if you just want to be super, super precautious that your leaf won't fall off, you definitely can do that. Just like that. And so we're just going to take all of our tails and we're going to cut. Make sure you don't lose your yarn needle. Kind of fluff that in so you can't really see it. Like, tie that in somewhere. And that's what we're looking like. A little straggler there. There we go. And that's what we're looking like. It's super cute, super, 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 super easy. And there's so many alterations you can do with this guy. So obviously you can do the apple. You can do an orange. You can do a peach, you can do a green apple with this. You can have fun with the wrapping and make a watermelon. Sprinkle some black into the wrapping around your pom-pom maker to make the seeds for the watermelon. You can do a lemon. You can do so many things with this pattern, but it is super, super simple. If you do plan to sell these, I would recommend that you block out the leaves, because the leaves do curl quite a bit. If you stiffen them, they won't curl as much. They'll kind of keep their shape. So that's just kind of an alteration, unless you like it like that. Another alteration is, for this one, I did not leave any space. See how we left space for the leaf here so it hangs down just a little bit? I didn't leave any space for this one. So depending on the look that you like, you can definitely alter accordingly. But this was super fun, super simple to match our series this month, which is quick and easy. Definitely something easy, not a lot of crocheting, but I hope this was enjoyable for you. I hope it matched our theme. Yeah, make sure you stay abreast on what's going on in the world so you can keep you and your family safe. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to crochet some cool stuff. And I'll see you next week.